Henri de Laulanié was a French Jesuit and agronomist. He was born in 1920, he died in 1995, and he spent the last 34 years of his life in Madagascar working with peasant farmers, smallholders, developing agriculture and also formation for the church. During the second half of his time in Madagascar, Laulanié really focused on improving ways of growing rice, which was a staple in the country. And he worked with local farmers to develop what he then called the system of rice intensification. Essentially, this involved spacing the plants on a grid, having very young seedlings transplanted, and managing the water very carefully. Using this approach, he pretty much doubled or more the yield of rice. And towards the very last years of his life, in the 1990s, he worked with the government of Madagascar to make this a national policy. And they were able to increase Madagascar's rice production by about 50% without increasing the inputs. So his work was absolutely crucial, both in terms of developing a system that we now use today worldwide and in terms of helping Madagascar. So we use the system of rice intensification today in our work at SRI 2030. It was actually adopted as a project drawdown methodology, one of the best ways to address the climate crisis. And that's because rice is a major source of greenhouse gas emissions in the way that we grow it traditionally in flooded fields. So we are working with governments across Africa in particular on their adopting SRI as their main way of growing rice. That's important because Africa has a major deficit in rice. They consume and import $7 billion a year of rice, which is a huge drain on the continent's economy, and when the continent could actually be completely self-sufficient. So it's a huge economic opportunity, it's an opportunity for rural communities, and in doubling the rice yield, we would also halve the greenhouse gas emissions. So it's a win-win. The reason that Laulanié is not as well known as he should be is because what he was promoting was a way of cultivating rice that uses less seed, less water, less synthetic fertilizer, and no or less pesticides. In other words, there's no money in it. It's just a way for farmers to improve the yields and their returns, and it doesn't help the traditional or industrial complex which is so dominant in agriculture today. And as a result of that, it's actually been quite, I would argue, deliberately ignored for many years. But there are people at the FAO, at the International Rice Research Institute, as well as universities like Cornell and across Africa and Asia, who've really championed it. And we believe that between 7 and 20 million hectares of rice production is using SRI. That's out of about 150 million. And in our project, SRI 2030, our goal is to get that to 50 million hectares by 2030. Very ambitious, but totally doable.